Hey guys, welcome to Picks and Parlays right here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. You can find us here every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And you can find us just about anywhere that you're at on the web. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and of course, the big time, the main site, picksandparlays.net. That's where we keep 35 of the world's very finest handicappers. They're armed with all the information that you need to make some money at the sportsbook. My name's Allie Burns. I'm going to be your host for today. You can find me on Twitter. I'm at +moneyhoney. And I have got all of your free sports picks for Thursday, March the 5th. We're going to start things off with Alex Smarty Pants Smarts and our NHL Rapid Fire. Move on to Sean Higgs. He's going to talk to us about college hoops. This is the time you really need some serious information because the heat is on. And we're going to wrap things up with Craig Trapp. He's going to talk NBA with us. Love some Craig Trapp picks. So grab yourself a pen, grab yourself a pad, and get ready to roll. I would like to take this opportunity to wish everyone a happy Multiple Personalities Day. I don't think I have multiple personalities, but my ex-husband might disagree with that. I do have multiple personalities on the show today, and they're all experts. So that is really exciting. All right, we're going to wrap things up before we get things started, so get that pen and paper, and we'll be right back with the NHL Rapid Fire with Alex Smarty Pants Smart. Hey guys, and welcome back to the show. As promised, it's time for the NHL Rapid Fire with Alex Smart. Alex, are you there?
I'm here, Allie. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. All right, are you ready for some NHL Rapid Fire? We've got some good ones here.
Yeah, sure. Fire away.
Don't get too excited, Alex, okay? Mellow out. Okay.
Okay, I'll know.
All right, so we're going to start with the Penguins and Buffalo. Pitt is 38, 21, and 6. They have a lot of injuries. They are coming off a win at home against Ottawa, 7-3, pretty impressive, but not as unimpressive as the 6 games in a row that they lost before that. Buffalo's 29, 29, and 8. They've also lost 4 in a row, but all of those were on the road. Their home record is 19, 10, and 4. They just lost at Winnipeg 3-1. I'm showing Pitt -165 and Buffalo +150. Who turns it around first?
Well, we've got value here with Buffalo all the way. The Sabres have won their last 4 home games, and they're 5-1 in their last 6 versus the Eastern Conference. And they've been pretty good underdog picks of late too. They've cashed 5 of their last 7, and there's value on this team. They're playing hard for the simple reason that this season's over for them over and over again. Guys like Eichel, who still want to make statements late in the season, and Pittsburgh's gonna just float, I think, into the playoffs, and you can see they're a little banged up. So we'll see what happens here, but I like Buffalo with the value.
All right, feeling froggy? Take a doggy. Okay, so we're going to go Bruins and the Predators. Boston is 42, 13, and 12 on a 3-game winning streak. Just won at Tampa Bay 2-1. They are number 1 in the Atlantic, and they're cruising into Florida, who's 33, 26, and 7. Number 4 in the Atlantic. They've lost 3 straight. The last one was at their own home against Calgary, 3-0. 16-4-3 at home. I'm showing Boston minus 140. I got to say I like that even though it's a favorite. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're going to get Boston at 140, this is a team right now. They just beat Tampa Bay the other night. They're obviously, in my opinion, anyway, and on the statistical metric East, and they're going to be hard to beat even going into the playoffs. This team is built like the old Western Conference teams were built, tough as nails, can score from a lot of different lines, and they play great defense and they have fantastic goaltending. I mean, what more do you want in the Stanley Cup champion? And I look at them now. I was Tampa Bay. We're just talking futures tickets here. Tampa Bay or Boston. Boston cruises ahead because Stamkos is injured with Tampa Bay. And by the way, their number one scorer, one of the top goal scorers in the entire NHL. He's gone for Tampa, so that's why I'm saying Boston now. And that $140 is.
See, that's that good information I was telling the people about. All right, so we're going to go Washington Capitals and the Rangers. Capitals are number one in the Metro. They're 40-19-6, really impressive. No injuries, coming off a win at Minnesota, 4-3. But I've heard that goaltending is an issue with them. Jerry Murray, their rookie goaltender, 0-4 in the month of February, so hopefully he can turn that around. New York Rangers, 35-27-4, have lost the last three. Last one was on their home ice in St. Louis, 3-1. I'm showing Washington minus 140, New York plus 120. The total's at 6.5. I don't know. I kind of like that total. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. The Rangers are going to want to leave it wide open. They're not going to the playoffs this year, even though they've flown under the radar, unless something miraculously happens. I don't think they're mathematically eliminated. But the New York Rangers are not going to the playoffs, despite of how well they played over the last month. Washington, on the other hand, that's a team that's a direct competition for the Boston Bruins. Going into this last month, it's really important to get your sort of playoff mode, your head on straight. And I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see Washington playoff mode, Rangers open it up. And that's the kind of team that can take you down really quickly, the Washington Capitals. And they've won 7 of the last 8 meetings here. So, from a recent historical standpoint, Washington has an edge at least.
All right. Alex Smart says, take Washington minus 140. Okay, we're going to move on to Dallas and Nashville. The Stars are 37-21-8. They've got a few injuries. They've lost 3 straight. Last one was at home against Edmonton, 2-1. They've got a decent road record, 18-11-5. Now they're cruising into Nashville. 32-26-8 is their record for the season. They've also got some injuries, also lost their last 3. Last one was at Minnesota, 3-1. I'm seeing some reverse line movement on the Stars. They opened at plus 104. Now they're at minus 105. Nashville opened 115. They're still at 115. And a lot of juice on that under 5.5. It's juiced at minus 125. What do you think about this one? A lot of movement here.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement, because the value obviously is lying here with Dallas. I mean, Dallas has played for the most part very, very good defensive hockey at this time of the season. Nashville, their big thing is all of a sudden they're starting to score, but at the same time they're allowing goals too. So for me, I look at this and I understand absolutely what's going on here with that line and look for some more reverse line movement, a few more bucks worth at least.
Right. Why not? We got until game time, they haven't dropped that puck yet. Okay,
well,
so we're going
to. But the thing is, just quickly, Nashville. This is going to be the 3rd game in 4 nights. I don't think it's a good situation for them at all either. So, from that standpoint.
Yeah, well, that's always a really good point too. Like on back-to-backs, and especially 3 games in 4 nights is no joke. And you got to travel places and stuff, Okay, so we're going to
very hard game.
We're going to do Toronto and LA. Maple Leafs 35-24-8. Coming off a loss at San Jose, 5-2. They won 3 of their last 5. Pretty good road team, 18-15-1. And they're going to play LA Kings, who are 25-35-6. Not so great. However, they managed to win 3 in a row. The last one was here in Vegas at VGK, 4-1. I'm showing Toronto minus 175, LA plus 155, and a total of 6. Again, that over is juiced. What do you think about this one?
Well, once again, I'm going to look at the money line here, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, the Leafs are too inconsistent of a team, extremely talented, but too inconsistent to, be laying this much lumber on the road against a team that still has a lot to play for. I know they're not going to the playoffs. They have a lot to play for from a player standpoint. They're trying to make impressions for next season. It's a young team. It's a tough team. If you've watched any of LA's games lately, you'd be pretty impressed by how hard they've been playing. And right till the end of the season, I look at them as a value player on any given night against an inconsistent Leafs team. I think we've got some value here. Absolutely.
I love it. Plus 155 on the Kings. I am not afraid of that at all. Okay.
Yeah, the home team has won 5 of the last 6 meetings, and the Leafs have lost 4 of the last 5 meetings here in LA. We're deep in. Well, how far into this road trip are we? We're a few games in anyway, so they're tired. It's a ripe spot.
Huh. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so we're going to do Minnesota Wild at the San Jose Sharks. Minnesota 33, 26-7. Just won at home against Nashville 3-1. They've won 4 of their last 5. On the road, they're 14, 15-2, so kind of even keel there. San Jose Sharks, my rival, 29, 33-4. They're on a 3-game win streak. All those games were at home. That's where they are tonight. Last one was a win versus Toronto, the inconsistent, unstable Maple Leafs, 5-2. This is another one I noticed a lot of line movement on. The Wild open at -115. I'm seeing it -105. And San Jose's at -105. What do you think about this?
You know, a lot of professional hockey bettors, guys that, well, we'll just say guys that are willing to lay big change on these games. You'll see these reverse line movements, and you see a lot of this stuff come down based just on metrics. Like, they don't always look at a hockey game like regular people look at a hockey game. You know, like I won't call them amateurs, but somebody just looking at a hockey game, they look at the metrics that are involved and the value that's attached to the number. Like the Wild, for example, there was reverse line movement on San Jose going the other way, correct?
Right.
Right. So they're just looking at value here. Wild have won their last 5 games on the road, and to me, I think, you know, there's not always value with an underdog. You know, there are spots you have to hit. As we all know, favorites win a majority of the time, and they're favorites for a reason. The Wild are favorites, and they deserve to be favorites here.
Right. All right, Alex. Well, thank you.
Someone's looking for value. There's a few people out there looking for value, as always with this.
Well, yeah, that's the whole freaking point of what we're doing here, making money, right?
Yeah.
All right, Alex. It was great to see you again. Thank you for all that information, and I will catch you next time. You guys sit tight.
Take care.
You too. You guys sit tight. I'll be right back with Sean Higgs and some NCAA college hoops. Hey guys, and welcome back. It's time for some college hoops. It's my very favorite segment that we do. And I've got one of my very favorite cappers on. Sean Higgs, are you there?
I am here, Allie. How are you tonight?
I am fantastic. I'm excited to get your opinion on these matchups. This is like crunch time, man.
It is, and you know what? It's a good time because I'm red hot this week. 7-3-1 out of the gate here, and college hoops 4-1-1 in my tournament play. So I'm excited. You know, love these tournaments, especially the early ones here. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
A lot of good action.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to start off with it's been one of my favorite teams all year has been Illinois. They're going to be at Ohio State. I expect this game to be like lights out, box to wire game. Illinois 20-9, number 23 in the nation, 3 in the Big Ten, won 4 straight. just coming off a win versus Indiana, 67-66. Ohio State, 20-9, number 19 in the nation, 7 in the Big Ten. They've won 3 straight. Last one was versus Michigan, 77-73. Got to watch out for those 3-pointers at Ohio State. I'm showing them as the home favorite, -6.5, and a total of 131.5. What do we do?
I'm seeing actually trickled down here that was a +6 now on the Illini. And I got to tell you, I'm like you. I like this Illini team, and they are tough. You think back just a month ago, they ran off 7 in a row in January. They looked unbelievable. Big turnaround from last year, from 12-20, whatever they were, and flipped the record around. Then they lost 4 in a row, but now seems to be clicking on all cylinders. 4 straight wins, you mentioned. Yep. You got to like the points here. The only thing, you see 6.5 points. That's kind of a big number. I know Ohio State's also a ranked team, and people put their whatever you want to think about ranked teams, whatever. So I'm a little sketchy about the 6. If it was like 3 or 4, I'd be like, okay, 6 just seems a little high, but I'm still taking Illinois. I still think this is going to be like a 64-63, some kind of tight game down to the wire. But it'll keep it off. I still might play it as a premium play, but that 6 I wish it was 4. 4, I'm all in, 100% as a big move. 6, it's just one of those things. You sometimes look at a number and be like, why is it that high? I mean, as I said, Illinois, they're at the top. They're at the top of the Big Ten. Ohio State's in the middle, 10-8 with their record. So that's the only thing I worry about. The number's a little sketchy to me, but I still like Illinois. So I'll take Illinois +6. Can never go wrong with extra points, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's just it. I like 6.5s because it's like in football, like you're on the wrong side of 7 or the right side of 7. To me, 6.5 is 2 possessions, and 2 possessions works for me. So I want to be on the right side of 2 possessions is how I think of it. So
it's big, especially the way they shoot these 3. So 6 is a big number there.
Is it Brad Underwood? Is that who's coaching Illinois now? Chris Underwood?
I thought Lon Kruger coaches Illinois. I have no idea.
No, Lon Kruger coaches Oklahoma.
He was back in Illinois back in the 80s, right? Was he back in like the Kendall Gill days back then? Who was running?
I'm not as old as you, so I might not know that.
Right. The Flying Illini back in whatever. I love my old school late 80s, 90s.
I'm mad at you. I got into basketball in like 91, 92. So like that's my genre where I start learning. Okay,
goodness.
so
These children. We have children on the show staying up late tonight, everybody.
I was 11. Okay. Okay, so we're going to move into the Pac-12. We're going to talk Cal and Oregon. Cal, 13-16. They're on a 2-game winning streak. Just took down Utah 86-79 in overtime. But on the road, they kind of stink, 1-8. Oregon Ducks, 22-7, number 13 in the nation, number 2 in the Pac-12. They've won 4 of their last 5. 2 of those were in a row. Last one was against Oregon State, 69-54. That was like a revenge game, if you ask me. They are undefeated at home, 15-0. They are laying anywhere from 15 to 16 points. And I got to tell you, I'm a little bit afraid of Cal this season because they always do something when I don't think they're going to. And I don't think they're going to, so they're probably going to cover 15. What do you think? Total 131.5.
Yeah, I'm seeing 15.5, 131.5. Yeah, and this is just a start. We have these huge games, big numbers in our preview show today. These games coming up, and you see the 15-0 at home in Oregon. I like Oregon. I dropped the future on them just today at FanDuel. I went up there. I'm like, let me grab it here for some Final Four action.
Where'd you get it at?
But I don't have the ticket in front of me. I can't.
Okay,
I don't know what it was. Sorry.
My bad.
So I like the points, believe it or not, here, Cal. I know 1-8 on the road. They're terrible offensively. They got one guy scoring double digits. You think, how are they competing here? But 2 wins, so they're playing kind of tough. They're playing better. They are 7-9 in Pac-12 play. So I don't know if that says a lot about the Pac-12, how mediocre it is, but 9-1 against the number last 10 times up here playing Oregon. So we got that working in our favor. So I'm going to take the 15.5. It's a big number. Cal, hey, let's play season record. They're undefeated at home here, the Ducks. Obviously, they'll be pumped up, but 15.5, big number. Cal, the trends are in our favor. And they've been playing better. 2 of the last 3, that's the kind of thing you look at for a bad team, even though obviously not delivering on the road, but I'm taking it. I'm taking 15.5, whatever I can get here. I'm sure I'll probably go up too. I don't see this line coming down. It's open to 14. I saw, and that's up to 15.5. So,
See,
you
on
might
my
even get
paper,
at
I have
16.
16. So that's
Yeah.
where it was at some point during the day when I was
it
doing
was
my
14.
notes.
It was 14 this afternoon around 3-4 o'clock. I saw it at 14, and it's up to 15.5. So,
Dang.
listen, yeah,
Luau,
people are gonna take
dang.
Oregon. Come on, you see 1-8 on the road, 15-0, ranked team. People are gonna lay it. They're not gonna worry,
Joe Public is
not.
all over that. Yeah.
I'm dogging it. Ugly dog for sure.
All right, doing the dog catcher. Okay, so let's go to Washington State and Arizona. This is another one with a crud ton of points. Washington State, 15-14, lost 4 in a row before they beat the Washington Huskies, their in-state rival, 78-74. That bumped up their road record to 2-7. Go Cougs. I'm a big fan of CJ Ellaby. I got to say that, but I don't know how they're going to fare against Arizona at home. They've been really hot all season, 19-10. They have lost 3 straight. Last one was at UCLA, who's number 1 in the Pac-12, 69-64. So it was a close one. At home, they're 12-3. I'm showing Arizona -16 down to -15. That total jump from 138 to 140.5. What do you think about this one?
I'm thinking that Washington State, off a huge double-digit underdog road win over a bitter rival, they're going to get wrecked today in Arizona. I'm going to lay this big number, 15. I'd be comfortable if it was 19 or 20. I think it's going to be a 20-point blowout. Arizona's a young team, a lot of young players, but at this stage of the game, we're in March, so they're not freshmen anymore. They've established themselves. We're at the end of conference play. So listen, this is going to be a good team. If these guys stay, I know guys love hopping to the NBA after a year. Man, if these guys stay another year or two, man, this would be a really good team. But here, again, everything went into the last game for Washington State. So for me, that angle, big upset win there. What do you got? You're going to lay an egg here. Arizona taking care of business. 15. Let's go. 15. We're laying it, Arizona.
All right.
Nothing to
Lay
say. It's just one of those spots. Lay it.
No, I feel you. I mean, I totally agree. I hate laying that many. I don't really lay that many points, but man, if I had to bet on this game, that's the way I would bet it. I think you're absolutely right. I've seen Arizona jack some people up this season. So,
and that's and listen, we put the videos out. We put all the TV games and stuff like that. You just don't have to bet it if it's on TV, like you said. If you're looking for an angle to bet this game, you think of State's in off a huge upset win. Where are they going from there?
Yeah.
They're 2-7 on the road. They're going nowhere.
Well,
Arizona's
that was their
playing
championship. It's like that was their big moment of the season.
They're playing for seeding in the NCAA. They got a lot to prove here, so they'll take care of it in a big way.
All right, last one. We're going to the Big Ten. Super lopsided matchup, but weird things happen in these lopsided matchups. Another huge point spread. We're talking Nebraska and the Michigan Wolverines. Nebraska 7-22. They've lost 14 games in a row. Last one was against Northwestern in overtime. I mean, if you're losing to Northwestern in overtime, that's no good for you, man. On the road, they're
the only team behind them in the Big Ten.
Well, and
the only team behind they're 2-16.
Northwestern's been at the bottom of that like the whole season, and like I'm sure they had a party there in Northwestern. Like, we're not the bottom anymore. But on the road, Nebraska's 0-10, unimpressive, and they're rolling into Michigan. Michigan had a really rough week. They played 2 teams that shoot a lot of threes, Wisconsin and Ohio State, and they just couldn't keep up. So they're looking for some more defense. They lost at Ohio State 77-63. I think they're ticked off. I think they're ready to play. Michigan -17 is a huge number, though. What do you think? And 148.5 is our total. What do you think about that? We got about 2 minutes to go.
17.5. That's a huge number. Listen, this Michigan team, remember how they started here? Beat Creighton by 10. A good North Carolina team at the time. They were 100%, and they were supposed to be good, even though they had a bad year. Beat them by 9. Beat Gonzaga. They lost to Louisville, but I'm not blaming them for that. Then they hit a little lump in the road. They had some, little health issues. Guys go down. I get it. New head coach. It's like a rookie coming in there. But this team now, I'm not laying 17.5. I think they'll win this game. I like them, but I'm going to go under the 148.5 because Nebraska, they can't score. 58% on the line. I mean, they got 2 guys who could shoot over 43% from the field. That's not even keeping you in a back door at 17 points. We got 2 guys shooting over 43%. So I'm going to go under the 148.5, and I can't get behind that. That's a big number. Who knows? Michigan could be angry and win this by 20, or they could go through the motions and win by 15, and you're down by a hook. So let's just go under. Low
All right.
scoring.
Take the under in Michigan, Nebraska, under 148.5. I remember at the very beginning of the season, while all the tournaments were going on, the Maui and all that, I remember watching Michigan play and telling my man, they are going to be a really good team this year. And then, yeah, unfortunately, they did slump a little bit, but it seems like they're pulling it all back together. And how cool is it to see Juwan Howard back on that court again? I love that.
Yeah, he was my favorite Fab Fiver back in the day.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Weber, Jim Rose, but I liked Howard's game. He was just like workman-like under the basket there, boards, rebounds. So I liked his game. And, listen, we see how Beeline's doing in the NBA. Not too good. That's kind of maybe a mistake leaving.
Yeah, well, it happens. All right, Sean, well, thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, you can't blame. I mean, there's how many NBA teams? 32, guys jump for NFL college spots or the NBA, whatever the case may be. There's only 32 of them. You got to take a shot, I guess.
Yep. All right, Sean, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for the free picks. And we will be right back with Craig Trapp in the NBA picks of the day. Hey y'all, welcome back. The intermission is over. The third period is about to begin, and I have got Craig Trapp, El Guapo, with all your NBA picks for Thursday, March the 5th. Craig, are you there?
Yeah, excited. We start weekend party early tonight with a little NBA action. Just 4 games on the slate, and but 2 really good ones. I think these are the TNT games tonight, the Clippers Rockets and Raptors Warriors.
Indeed. Okay, so let's start out with the Clippers and the Rockets. Clippers 42-19. This should be a really fun game is what I'm thinking, because both of these teams are healthy. They're both rocking and rolling. Clippers won 5 straight. Last one was at OKC, 109-94. Rockets 39-21. They were on a win streak, and then they lost to the Knicks, which was like weird to lose at the Knicks, 125-123, but they're 7-3 in their last 10. I'm showing the Clippers -1 and the total of 237. What do you think about this?
Well, actually, the line is actually flipped to Houston -1 with 237, which is,
that makes more sense.
I don't think it's going to be that close. I don't think it's going to be close. I really don't. I don't, Houston, the small lineup, it worked at first.
Mm-hmm.
But I think teams have started to figure this out. I mean, when you lose to the Knicks, I think that the word is out on how to beat you. And this Clippers team, once they've got healthy, they have been mowing teams down, like you said, 5 in a row, both straight up and against the spread. I like the Clippers here, getting the 1 point. I think they win outright. I just think Kawhi has kind of circled the wagons and said, all right, guys, it's time to quit messing around. Everybody's going to play. We're going to get this right, and we're going to be ready, even if they don't get the top seed from, of course, the Lakers. As long as they get the 2 seed, they're going to avoid, of course, having to play the Lakers until the finals. I think the Clippers here put a little exclamation point here and send a little message to Houston and James Harden and Westbrook and the 2 MVPs there that this Clippers team is just a way more balanced team, and they don't play small ball. They will punish you in the paint. I think that's what the Clippers do tonight. I also think the total is a nice play here, Allie. I don't know. 237 is high, but not for the Houston Rockets team that plays no defense. So I think the over here is a solid play as well. I think I'd probably parlay these together. I think if the Clippers win, this one easily goes over that 237. So instead of getting, for every 11, you get $10 back. You bet, 10, you get 28 back. So I think I would take the Clippers and the over here for our opening game on TNT tonight.
All right. Well, there you have it. Craig's first pick is a parlay. Clippers +1 and the over. I like it a lot. Now we're going to move to the 76ers and the Kings. 76ers 37-25. They've lost their last two, both on the road. We've talked about it a lot of times. They're a great home team, really bad road team. Just went down to the Lakers, 120-107. They are 6-4 in their last 10, though. They're going to go into Sacramento, 27-34. They've won 3 in a row. They've kind of picked up a little hot streak here. This is also the third home game in a row. Just beat Washington Wizards, 133-126. I feel like this is one of those games where, like, you don't want to let season totals and records fool you. That, like, Joe Public looks at this and they're like, 76ers, but really, the Kings could be the play here. At -5, I saw it move down to -4.5. What do you think about this? Am I totally off? I could be. I sometimes am.
No, I think you're right on. This Sixers team on this road trip has, they're just really banged up, and they weren't good on the road, like you said before. 8-22-2. I mean, that's their against the spread record on the road. So I don't know how you can have any faith in the Sixers now that they're banged up that's going to turn around. So to me, I think they lose again here. I think they not only do they lose, they don't cover, and in a pretty lopsided game. I mean, this is just a Sixers team that when they lost Jimmy Butler, that was really the guy that could pull a team together, a leader. I just don't think they have a clear-cut leader. I think it should be probably your point guard, Ben Simmons, but I don't think Embiid will let him be. Yeah, well, he's out. Plus, I don't think Embiid will let him do that.
And
he kind of wants to hold that, and he's out. Yeah, so I think that you have that strife on the team, and we've seen that not always the best team doesn't win. Let's remember that Pistons team that they just were really good 5 players, and that's what the Sixers need. They need that cohesion. They don't have it. This Kings team's starting to get that, and I think we're going to see this Kings team push. I don't know if they'll end up 500 this year, but I think they're going to end up close. I think they're going to close strong. I like the Sacramento Kings -5 here. And I also think if you're going to play this over, I think I would play this one over as well. I just think the Kings are a very good offensive team, and the Sixers, one of the reasons why they're so bad on the road is their defensive effort is just atrocious, terrible, non-existent, to be honest. So let's take the over as well. I don't think I'd parlay this one, but the stronger play is definitely on the Sacramento Kings -5 against a banged-up Sixers unit that just can't right the ship here.
All right. There you have it. Okay, so I've got 2 other games, but there aren't lines out. Oh, wait. No, I have Raptors Warriors. I got a line on that. So Raptors, 43-18. Both of these teams are really banged up, but Raptors have won 6 of their last 10. Coming off a win at the Suns, 123-114. That's no huge feat, and neither will be beating the Warriors. They're 14-48. They have won 2 of their last 10, and 2 of those were in their last 5 games. Coming off a win at Denver, not an easy place to play, 116-100, but their home record is 7-24. So I'm showing the Raptors -10.5 and the total at 226. What do you think about that?
Well, these lines actually came off the board, and the reason why, guess who's back? Yes, Allie, Steph Curry is back.
Curry's back.
So the line has come off the board. I would imagine this line's going to end up in that 7 to 8 range.
Okay.
Just because, the Steph Curry effect. I think it sounds like he's going to be on a minutes restriction, even though they say he's in unbelievable shape. He was practicing with the G League team earlier this week, and I guess he missed the game-winning shot in their little scrimmage they had, but I guess he looked very, very good. So I think he'll play well. Raptors team are just a better team. That's just the facts. I mean, even when they were banged up this year, they've been very, very good, especially at home. I wish they were at home here, because I would be all
I know
over,
you do.
How much I like the Raptors at home all year. But I think you still have to play the Raptors. As long as it's in that 7 to 8, 8.5 range, I would play the Raptors. If it gets to that 10, then I think you're going to see Golden State. Let's remember they just won in Denver without Steph Curry. So if you get Steph Curry back, maybe we see a big – we've seen these this year, these huge upsets in not only college basketball but also in the NBA, where 10-point favorites 10-point underdogs win outright by 5 or 6 points. And remember, this Golden State team did it. Not only did they do it against Denver last time out, they also did it Christmas Day. Yeah, Christmas Day on Houston. That's what happens. You bet against the goods team, the good side. This is like, that's evil. Evil is the Houston Rockets.
No,
that's what basketball.
Evil.
That's the basketball what shouldn't be. The isolation, that's not good basketball. The Warriors basketball, sharing the ball, that's what has changed the NBA. That's what the Lakers are doing now. The Bucks are doing it. I mean, you see, that's the new, the way the really good teams play in the NBA, and the Warriors started that all. I think it's back tonight with Steph Curry. I just think they lose by that, about 9 points. So play this game accordingly, depending on where this line comes out.
All right. Play it accordingly. Anything? Oh, no, we don't have it total. It was 226, but I'm assuming that'll move around and probably be.
I guess it'll go up.
It'll go up?
Y'all, Steph Curry's playing. They're going to score way more points. Just
All
him being on the court, everybody else is going to get open shots.
When everybody else is going to bet on the Warriors, too, just as soon as he steps his little Davidson butt out there.
That's
Money's coming in on him. Okay, so this is the one that I don't have a line on. Maybe you do. Maybe you could just project one for me because you're very good at doing that. I'm talking Denver and Charlotte. The Nuggets coming off that loss we were talking about to the Warriors, 116-110. They're 41-20 for the season. They've won 6 of their last 10. I've liked the Nuggets all year, I must say. And they're playing the Charlotte Hornets, who I really wanted to like and I just kind of can't like. They're 21-40. They've lost 2 in a row. Both of those games were at home. 104-103 to the Spurs was their last one. They're only averaging like 102 points a game. They're giving up 109. I kind of feel overy on this, but I'm not sure what the total is. So lay it on me.
Well, I expect this line. I see the advanced line at 6 or 7, depending on where you look at, in favor, of course, Denver. I expect the total to be in the low 220s or high 218 to 220 probably range. I think you have to look at Denver in a bounce back spot. I mean, not only did they lose to Golden State, I mean, it was never close. And a team that has championship aspirations, you want to bounce back. And what better way to do it in Charlotte, unless Michael decides to, turn back the clock 20 years and come back mid-season form for the Chicago Bulls type stuff, and he plays for the Hornets. That ain't happening. So I think the Denver Nuggets go in there and take care of business, win by double digits, and put that loss behind them. Just remember, they do not want to be the 4 seed in the West. They want to make sure they end up as the 3 seed. That way, they'll most likely play the Clippers. I think that's a much better matchup for them than the Lakers for themselves. So I think these games are going to be very important down the line for the Western Conference's top 3 or 4 teams to see who gets the 1, 2, 3, 4 seeds. And I think Denver puts that momentum or that motivation behind them and forgets about that ugly loss against Golden State.
I feel like they're going to have to. Sometimes that happens, but they're in a great spot. At least you're not playing back-to-back really tough competition. Like, this is the spot to get your stuff back together and get back on track. So there it is.
You can only hope to have the Hornets on every night for the rest of the year. Or it's like, when do we play the Hornets and when do we play the Knicks?
Right.
If we can play those 2 teams most nights, we're probably going to be pretty good. Let's play teams that like the Hawks. They don't play any defense either.
Right.
There's about 8 teams, in the league. Unfortunately, Golden State was one of them, and they beat them. That you can just circle and say these are wins or most likely wins. But that caught them last game, so I don't think they'll overlook this team twice.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that wraps up our game. So tell me about you. We've got a few quick minutes. What kind of specials do you have going on at picksandparlays.net?
Well, we just put up the March Madness packages so you can get any of your handicappers. So go to their handicapping page and you can get all their college basketball plays through the national championship. I think it's like $219.99, I believe it is. That price is, I think, $199 usually once the bracket's out. So basically you get these week and a half for almost free. So make sure you take advantage of it you can use that extra bonus, use that bonus code March. You could save an additional 15% and get every college basketball play from either myself, Sean Higgs, Alex Smart, or any of our 35 experts, and many of them that are on here on the show daily.
Don't forget about Mr. March, all right? The Lord of the Big Dance, old Joe Duffy, all right? He's quite the picker.
Hey,
okay.
You never know. That's why we keep the records is season to season. You never know. You just jump on the hot guy.
Yeah, that's just, well, jumping on the hot guys, status quo. Okay. So just to clarify, because that's really cool. So you can get the special package deal and you can use the promo code and take 15% off of it also?
Absolutely, yeah. We the promo codes are always good no matter what on whatever deal's up. So you get it for less than $200. So go over now and use that March promo code at checkout.
That is a sweet deal. That's value. And that's what we're trying to do for you here at Picks and Parlays. Give you value. All right, Craig, it's great to see you as always. I'll check you out next week. I'll check you out throughout the week on the show and write down your picks because that's what I do. And we'll see you soon. You guys grab a pen and a paper. We're going to be right back. I'm going to recap all of the picks that we've gone through today right after this break. Hey guys, it has been a great show today. Thanks for checking back in with us at Picks and Parlays. Don't forget you can check us out every Monday through Friday streaming live right here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific. And check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are always updating those sites with free picks, quick videos about how to bet, what to bet, who to bet and where. And so if you missed any of the show, don't worry about it. I'm going to go over the picks for you right now. So it was a great show, National Multiple Personalities Day, and I had some multiple personalities today. Alex Smart was one of them. He gave us his NHL picks. He says in the Boston-Florida game, take Boston at -140. Sean Higgs came on. He was talking college basketball for us. Illinois at Ohio State. He says take Illinois +6. Nebraska at Michigan. Take the under in that game, 148.5. Cal at Oregon. Get all those points. Take Cal +15.5. And for Washington State at Arizona, let's lay all those points with the Wildcats. Take Arizona. Finish things up with El Guapo, Craig Trapp, and his NBA picks. Got some good ones tonight. Clippers at the Rockets. Take the Clippers +1. 76ers at the Kings. Take the Kings -5. And just a little sharp betting tip from Craig Trapp himself. Keep an eye on that Warriors game. Steph Curry, not Seth, that's the other one. Steph Curry is back tonight, so keep your eye on that line. My name's Allie Burns. You can check me out on Twitter at +moneyhoney. And it has been a pleasure as always. I'll see you guys next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday right here on Picks and Parlays, where all we do is bet, win, repeat.